Hello, Master Numerologist Andre Overmore, wishing all the mothers happy Mother's Day. Today's lesson is on the compound number 45, part 2. Here we go. Number 45, a compound number has two subelements, digits 4 and 5, which sits in opposition to each other. Number 4 is hard and unshakable. Number 5 is flighty and unreliable. Each number need one another for balance. Number 5 must learn discipline, a substantial attribute of number 4, and number 4 needs to loosen up, a strong trait of number 5. If each number could learn from one another, then number 4 would enjoy life and number 5 will be able to get things accomplished. Without this learning, then number 4 will go through life unwilling to yield, and number 5 will go through life flying here and there, not building anything of worth. Now, a person's chart has many different variables that compose a complete reading, and rarely will number 45 will stand alone unless it's a person who will be turning age 45 or its reversal number of 54. But the number 45 do come around in different events, such as a marriage moving into their 45th year, or a friend that may come back into a person's life after being out of the life for 45 years. So 45 do come around. Now, if a client only wanted to know what to expect during their birth cycle of 45, it will consist of work and play. A time to pay a close attention to one's physical health, their home foundation ought to be checked, and they ought to stay alert to unraveling of things that one has built, like a business or a relationship. Number 4 deals with structures. The body is a structure as well as a corporation or a marriage. It is a heavy vibration that carries weight. Sometimes this weight is more than an individual can handle. When one's burden becomes too heavy, the smart thing to do is to set it down, to free yourself of this burden, which moves us to the next level of number 5. So the number 4 is all about making sure that your foundations, your structures are strong and intact, and the physical body, because it's composed of the materials, needs to be checked. So you go to a physician and you have the doctor check you out. Or if you're living in a home or business, it's important that you make sure that you check the wiring within the home or the business so that a fire won't erupt. Or check the roofing to make sure that all the tile are intact. Or the plumbing, so that you don't come to work one day or you come home one day and you find that your house has flooded because of faulty plumbing. So the 4 energy is a very detailed energy, and so when you're moving through a 4-5 energy, it's important to pay attention to details. If you're in business, it will be important for you to go, over your books with a fine-tooth comb. It's not a time to rush through things. But on the 5th level, the number 4 have to learn to relax. The number 4 have to learn to take 5, because see, the 5 energy enjoy the future ones, later, because it deals primarily with the 5 physical senses. It's attracted to what it see and what it hear and what it tastes and what it feels and what it's touch. That's a 5 vibrational energy. So it likes to travel, it likes to explore, it likes to seek out adventures. It likes to take a light approach to life without the heaviness of a 4 energy. It's a light-hearted vibration that doesn't take reality too seriously. A time to fill your life with laughter and good times. So a 5 energy, they like to play around, they like to tell jokes, they like to, act foolish every once in a while, and that's a good thing. You need that injected into one's life, especially when you're going through some heaviness. That's why you'll see movies inject, some type of lightheartedness into a heavy subject matter, because people can only take a heaviness for so long. You got to balance it out within that 4-5 energy. So the beauty of a 4-5 combination is that the number 4 will check number 5, bringing it close to the line, but will prevent it from crossing it. For an example, let's say that you're out drinking, and let's say you have a very strong 4 energy and a very strong 5 energy, And the 4 energy is noticing that the 5 energy is like, knocking them back, right, really rapidly. A 4 energy can interject and try to talk some reason and some logic into the 5 and say, listen, man, you got to get up and go to work tomorrow, or, you don't want to get, you know how you are when you become intoxicated. So the 4 energy can check that 5 energy, bring that 5 energy up to the line, but don't let the 5 energy cross it, because the 5 energy have a tendency to overindulge in the more pleasurable aspects of life. And the number 5 can help bring the 4 energy to the edge, so that it can feel what it's like to be right at the edge of life, so they can feel alive, so they can have that feeling of exhilaration, like a roller coaster that's going down. And so the 5 energy can uproot that steadiness of that 4, so that 4 can understand the joy of spontaneity. Okay, let's move on. Now, a person that's moving through their 45th birthday cycle is coming to the end of their 5th 9-year cycle, because 4 plus 5 equals 9, and number 9 brings creation to a close. So from age 1 to age 9, you're moving through a cycle, right? You're young. You really don't know. You're being very obedient to mom and dad. You're in elementary school. You're in kindergarten. You really don't have a good idea of who you are, right? Everybody's telling you who you are. But then from, say, 9 to 18, you got a little bit better understanding of who you are, and what it is that you may want to do in your life. You may start a little job at around age 15 or 16. You may want to get like a learner's permit. You're still moving through the 9 cycles, but it's at a little higher, intensity. And then from 18 to 27, you may be, going off to college, or you get married, or you leaving mom's house, you got your little gig going on, right? And you beginning to say, okay, this is what I really want to do with my life. And then from, where I'm at, 2018 to 20, well, gosh, from 18 to 27, you're going into the productive years, so to speak. Then from 27 to 36, you're probably getting married, or you're thinking about maybe getting a divorce from the marriage, right? And then from 36 to 45. So that would be 5 9-year cycles, and the 9 energies always brings about closures and endings. And but some people have a hard time dealing with endings, right? It can be very painful to bring something to an ending. For an example, let's say that a lead singer that's been in a band for like 9 years and decides they want to do a solo. Well, that's probably going to be a difficult decision for that singer or that musician to make, especially when you have to, express it to the other members within that band. And they may not take it so lightly. They may say, listen, we're having a good thing here, and now you just want to jump up and quit. But that person might be saying, well, look, I just feel as though, I've been fulfilled, or I'm not being fulfilled anymore, and I want to try something different. But that can be a very painful experience. And what about a wife that's asking, or a husband that's asking for a divorce, but their young children are involved? That is a decision that they can't take too lightly, because you have to say, well, how is this going to impact our family, our young children? How is this going to be impressionable for them? So there cannot be a decision that brings about, pleasure, because it's a hard decision to make. What about, let's say, a business person that have to close their business due to a financial crisis? Let's say this business is no longer offering services that's relevant to the society, and the society is no longer supporting this business, and so this owner find themselves having to close after they spent years building this business up, only to find out that the society has moved forward, and their little business is no longer satisfying the appetites of the society. Okay, but closures can also be a good thing, like, for example, quitting a job to take on a better job. That's a good thing, right? Or getting married after being single for what might seem like forever. What about a person being released from prison? Say a captain serving like 35 years in jail and he's finally released. That's a good thing. I'm sure of it, right? And what about a pregnancy that's coming to an end and a beautiful baby is being born? A woman, after 9 months, the baby is born. Suppose that woman had to carry that baby for another 9 months or 18 months. Oh no. She said, well, some ladies are saying, I'm ready for this baby to come now, right? And what about a war that's been going on for maybe 10 years? Don't you think that's a good thing for that war to come to an end? And I know all of us will welcome the end of this coronavirus and try to get back to a sense of normalcy. That would be a perfect thing, right? The ending to this coronavirus. So nines can be painful, but it can also be welcome. Okay? Let's move on. So events, they have cycles. Like Halley Comet comes around every 75 years. World Olympics occurs every 4 years, and in America we elect our House of Representatives every 2 years and our senators every 6 years. Every 4 years we vote for our president, and we have selected 45 presidents since 1789. Now, April is the fourth month of our calendar year, and one aspect of number 4 deals with structures. So restaurants, schools, movie theaters, and a host of other businesses must restructure how they will conduct business when this coronavirus has run its course. May is the fifth month of our calendar year, and one aspect of number 5 deals with freedom. Over 75% of Americans have been staying at home practicing social distancing. May, a large percentage of governors will gradually reopen their states, which will seem like freedom. All right, people is already, is antsy. They're ready to get back to work because what is happening is that their resources is dwindling down, and they need to get back to work to try to replenish their money. But then at the same time, our society haven't really been able to bring this coronavirus. We haven't been able to flatten that curve, and so we still have hotspots in America where people are still becoming infected by the coronavirus. So this is where we're at. We're in a squeeze box. Do we go to work and risk our lives to make $1 so that our family can be provided for? That is a position that we ought not to be in, but that is a position that we are finding ourselves in. So you have to choose as an individual what's going to be best for you and your family. Do you go out and risk your life to make $1? That's where we at, and that's unfortunate. But now, let's take a deep dive into our 45th president. Our president took the oath on January the 20th, 2017, which is a universal day of number 4, derived from adding the month of January, which is a 1 month, the day of the oath, which was on the 20th, and the year 2017, which vibrates to the compound number of 2038, reduces down to the digit 13, further reduces down to number 4, the builder. Now, a builder can build constructively, or it can take a wrecking ball and dismantle foundations and structures. Now, number 4 in its negative aspect weakens, dismantle, and destroy structures by lying, manipulation, bending the truth, firing people that hold key positions. It paints pictures based on alternative facts, using confusing tactics. Negative number 4 hollows out interiors until only the outside frames exist. It's too lazy to read, incapable of problem solving, skipping over details, not willing to think things through, ignoring facts, rushing through projects without planning or developing strategies. Number 5 in its negative aspect, jumps around saying unthoughtful things one moment and the very next moment saying something else that contradicts the first. Negative 5 actions are erratic, causing discomfort and confusion. A bull in a china shop, crashing and destroying precious items without thought or understanding of the harm it's creating, and acting swiftly without thinking about the consequences of said acts. Moving fast but going backwards. Negative number 5, incapable of multitasking due to a lack of focus. Daily, it points a finger of blame towards everyone except the one who is sitting in the seat of power. Now, America has become the epicenter of the coronavirus. The unpreparedness of the number 4 and the scattered, erratic behavior of number 5 has brought economic calamity and death. Number 9, because 4 plus 5 is 9. America had a chance to move off of number 45, but 51 senators voted against calling additional documents and witnesses. On February the 5th, 2020, 52 senators voted to acquit 45 on Article 1, abuse of power, and 53 senators voted to acquit 45 on Article 2, obstruction of power. Number 45 was found not guilty and was set free. 4 plus 5 equals number 9. Number 9 is a mighty serpent that is capable of wrapping its body around America's neck, choking out its life force. It would be wise for America to move off 45 sooner than later. This is going to be our choice. Do we stay on the 45, the 9 energy, the energy of conclusions, endings, the energy that closes a page in the book of eternity? Or are we ready to move to 46, which is the 1 energy, new beginnings? The sun is shining. The storm has passed. Ready for a brand new cycle. This is going to be our choice. We must choose with wisdom. We must observe what has happened, what is happening, and we must project what will happen. The choice is left up to us. Do we stay on the 9? Or do we move into the number 1? So, until the next video, peace.